Did you know that different kinds of metals conduct heat differently? Wouldn't this mean that different kinds of baking sheets would cook differently too? Metals have ions which are surrounded by free electrons. These free electrons can travel quickly and easily throughout the structure. The electrons transfer heat energy by colliding with other atoms and electrons in the metal. In ordinary metals, the same electrons which carry electrical currents are also responsible for most of the heat conduction. The reasons for variation in thermal conductivity are the same as the reasons for variation in electrical conductivity. The three factors that determine these conductivities are the density of conduction electrons, the typical speeds of conduction electrons, and the typical distances that the electrons travel before they bump into something and change directions. After learning this, my hypothesis was that cookies will cook differently on different baking sheets. I will test this by cooking 3 batches of cookies on 3 different baking sheets and comparing the results. My materials were 1 aluminum cookie sheet, 1 steel cookie sheet, 1 non-stick cookie sheet, enough cookie dough for 3 dozen cookies, and 1 knife. My procedure was cut the cookie dough into fairly even slices. Round the cookie dough into similar sized circles and place them on all 3 sheets. Then place the batches in the oven one by one for the same amount of time. I then rated each batch on a scale of 1 to 10 in these 3 categories: how soft, how large, and how cooked the cookies were. On this scale, 1 is the least and 10 is the most. You can see in the data table that aluminum had the softest, largest, and least cooked batch. You can also tell that non-stick and steel turned out very similar. I decided to make my graph on how burnt each batch was, once again using a scale of 1 to 10. It is clear from the graphs that the type of cookie sheet made a difference in how cooked that batch was. The purpose of my project was to find out if the type of metal a cookie sheet is made of affects how fast the cookies are baked. I tested this by baking 3 batches of cookies made from the same dough on 3 different cookie sheets. If the cookies turn out different, the type of metal the cookie sheet is made of does affect the baking of the cookie. If they all turned out the same, I could conclude that it does not affect the baking of the cookies. I expected the kind of cookie sheet to affect how the cookies were baked. My results were how I hypothesized. The cookies were more or less burnt depending on the sheet. This means that the type of metal will change how your cookies are baked.